All right, we are back. It is the postgame show here on the Kings Broadcast Network. Jordan Kiss and associate coach Dwight Lee. Kings a 5-1 win to wrap up 2023. And for the first time, Dwight, this season, back-to-back W's. How does that feel?
Feels really good. Yeah, it's been a great weekend and even kind of built off of yesterday's game. And, yeah, the energy's good and, feels good to, string together a couple of good performances in a row at home in front of some good crowds. And I like how we've been playing.
And no, great weekend overall. Fantastic performances up and down the lineup. I think there's quite a few guys we have to talk to, but let's dive into this game first. The first period, another great first period for this Kings team. Out shooting Coquitlam 12-4. Remy Jelena with a goal late, and again, you guys were carrying right off where you left on last night.
Definitely, and Coquitlam came out hard. They came out hard with finishing their checks, and thought we handled that well and managed the puck well, and we were able to come out of the first with a lead there.
What about that goal from Jelena? Because that was a pretty nifty move. In tight, didn't have a lot of space, but managed to pull that shot off.
That's a really high-end shot release. I mean, he picked the puck up. I think Jonesy fed it to him sort of cross-body, and he shot it in stride without dusting it off and just caught the goalie off guard with his release. And, that's a high-skill play and a really nice shot.
Well, then second period, Coquitlam started to, find their game. They had a lot of puck possession, but the Kings didn't back down. They were up to the challenge and got a couple late Christmas presents from the Express, an own goal, shorthander for Coquitlam, then the turnover that led to the Anthony Lucarelli goal.
Yeah. So both of those kind of, we've had our fair share of bounces not go our way, and the first one when we're shorthanded, and I think Asher cleared the puck down the ice. Crudale and one of their guys were kind of tangled up behind the play, so I was actually watching what was going on behind the play. I think everybody was. There was some pushing and shoving, but yeah, it looked like Ash threw it down, and then they kind of mishandled it, and there was a bit of a miscue with the goalie and their D-man retrieving the puck, and it was. Fortuitous kind of bounce. I think
everybody was heard the horn go off and it's like, what?
Yeah, totally. And then, I think we were applying some good pressure and forced them to throw a puck up the middle, and Luch picked it off, and it was off of his stick pretty quick, and a nice shot there as well.
So, but, after that, Coquitlam, they kind of rallied a little bit. They didn't let that phase them. Again, lots of time in the offensive zone, but I think the theme of the night tonight for the Kings is the stand of the defensive zone. You can't go to the second and even the third period. Lots of puck possession, but really not a lot of good looks for Coquitlam at all tonight.
Yeah, and I think a lot of their O-zone time and the shots that they generated, I think in the second and the third they came ahead on the shots, but a lot of those came off of their opportunities with the extra man. But we were effective on the penalty kill for the most part, keeping them to the outside and not really giving up the grade A's in the scoring area. And Crudale did a heck of a job steering rebounds and turning shots into, not giving them those follow-up scoring chances off of it. And, it was really good for him to, string together two really strong performances back-to-back. And, on the goaltending end, I'm sure that's really good for his confidence.
No, it's huge. Great weekend for Crudale. You're still going into the third, but you guys keep on pressing. You take advantage of the chances you had. You get a great shorthanded goal from Adam Mendelson that started with a breakout by Lucarelli and plus a great pass.
Definitely, I think we ended up getting the two shorthanded goals. One was kind of a bounce that went our way, but the other one was a very nice goal where Luch and Mendy have connected for a few shorties this year, and Luch made a great play to get the puck past their defenseman, and then we were kind of in on a 2-on-1 situation, and the guy stepped at Luch. Luch slid it over to Mendy. Mendy kind of got it off of his stick real quick, beat the goaltender, and I think at that point that made it 4-1.
Yep.
Yeah, and at that point it was 3-1, and they scored that goal at the end of the second. They were pressing, and that was a big goal that kind of silenced them.
You get the empty netter from Christian Morrow to seal the deal 5-1. Again, great weekend. You pick up 2 wins. Great performances all around. A couple guys we have to highlight here. First off, finally making his Kings debut this weekend, defenseman Veit Baran. What were your thoughts on his 2 games this weekend?
I thought with Veit, he was physical. He was effective. He played some good minutes for us, and I really thought that between the Friday and tonight's game, he took a step with his game. He looked more confident, and then in the third period, he was one of our top guys on the back end there, finishing his checks and separating the man from the puck and breaking up some cycle situations. So I could see with Veit, I think he got injured when he was with Chilliwack at the showcase, I believe. Mm-hmm. So he's been out of the lineup for an extended amount of time. So from Friday to Saturday, you could see him get his timing and his reads back and shake off some of the rust there. Another good contributor there on the back end for us. Another guy with some good size and physicality.
And then also making his BCHL debut tonight, affiliate player Eron Mitchell, 6'9". He's a beast out there, and I think that's a pretty impressive debut. He did all the little things well. He got into it physically. He was chirping other guys, and I know you have to be pretty happy with the way he stepped up tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a lot of credit. He's come up from he's playing at a higher level than what he was playing all season. He's had 2 practices under his belt. He probably didn't know he was in the lineup until hours before the game, and he suited up and he gave us some good minutes. He won some puck battles. He delivered some nice hits, he played. He was effective, and they had some guys on their team sort of agitating our players, trying to get under our skin, and he was able to finish a nice check in the corner. I don't think it was a penalty. It didn't look like he took too many steps at him or finished high. It looked like a good hit to me, kind of backed into him and rocked him good. But, he's a presence out there. You noticed him when he was on the ice for sure.
Oh, yeah. But, again, back to 2 wins this weekend. You win these games in 2 different fashions. You have that very offensive, very strong offensive game yesterday, and then a little bit more of a slower control style game tonight. How does it feel that this team, it's got 2 wins under their belt, but they've done it in 2 different ways? Yeah,
it's a good point. And what I liked about tonight's win, we won each period, and we've kind of been keeping tabs on periods and setting goals to win specific periods, and the first coming away with the 1-goal lead, and then in the second, get the bounce shorthanded, and then we ended up winning each period. So that was and like you said, first time this season we've won back-to-back games, and and sort of a different theme with each game. Yesterday was kind of, you had some run-and-gun hockey, lots of swapping of scoring chances, lots of physicality, some good tilts, good competitive hockey, kind of had a playoff feel to it. And then today was a good game as well. We pushed the pace early in the game. We kind of got into some penalty trouble. Our penalty kill came up big. But when they were pressing, our defensive structure was in place, and guys did a pretty good job of keeping them to the outside. And I kind of mentioned it earlier, but really good to see Crewdale, have a couple of good games back to back, and I'm sure that, like I said, I'm sure that's good for his confidence moving forward.
Well, then going forward, you enter 2024. You start on the road in Victoria and Cowichan next weekend. Now, of course, you want to build off these 2 wins, and you want to make sure that these 2 wins just aren't a one-off. You want to be able to carry this on, and I know there's a lot more things coming for this Kings team next week. Stay tuned. How does this team make sure that that you continue to build off this and keep on getting better?
Yeah, I think as much as you as coaches, you kind of you look at areas of your game that we could be better and address those areas in practice and in video sessions. But identifying the things that we're doing well and going back to it. I think in this weekend and. We played, I've had a lot of people come up to me and say hey, it looks like a different team. It's a mixture of things, but the physicality that we played with, the intensity, the structure, everything seemed to be fall into place this weekend, and we got to be consistent with it. Victoria is a team that, I think we've played them twice this year. We played them at home in our home opener. We got up early. They worked their way back into the game, and then we had that overtime loss in Victoria. We've been very competitive with them. They're a very structured team as well. Looking forward to getting, playing that team again. And then Cowichan, that's a big game, looking at where we're at in the standings. So, we've got a couple of days off here to rest up and then get prepared for a big weekend here.